Coming up on this week's episode of SVG Motors Weekly, that the vast majority of the people that don't lease, the reason why they don't is because they don't fully understand what leasing is about. And that's why I felt
tire pressure is a big part of your vehicle's maintenance. Also, it can be entirely done by you.
Need it bad. Need something better than what you had. Not sure what you wanna where to go. Well, there's one place that you need to know. SVG is the place for me, where you get superior value guaranteed.
I'm Steve Van Gorder, president of SVG Chevrolet and SVG Motors, and I want to define, explain leasing, because these deals that come on television, you need to pay attention because they're not always available, and when they come out with a great lease, it's time to take action if you're looking for a new vehicle. So let's explain leasing. The objections to lease. Number one, most people say, I never own. You never own the vehicle. Well, that's true. But those of you that are buying these vehicles, you never own the vehicle either. Yes, you bought the vehicle, but I'll challenge you this. Don't make 3 payments on that vehicle and you'll find out real quick who owns that vehicle. Yeah, that's right. The bank owns the vehicle. Until you pay that vehicle off, the bank owns the vehicle. Number 2, second reason why a lot of people talk about not wanting to lease, they drive too many miles. And the number 3 reason, and in my opinion, it is the biggest reason, they just don't understand. And I'm gonna guess that the vast majority of the people that don't lease, the reason why they don't is because they don't fully understand what leasing is about. And that's why I felt imperative that it was time to share with you what is leasing, why is leasing, in my opinion, the best way to own a vehicle or to drive a vehicle. I say own a vehicle, but it's the best way to drive a vehicle for the least amount of money out of your pocket. So I'm going to use, since I'm a Chevrolet dealer and one of my favorite vehicles is the 2015 Chevy Silverado. They are awesome and they're all over the road. You see them everywhere. Well, guess what? A 2015 Silverado, double cab, 4-wheel drive, I can see it in my mind, black with the 22-inch wheels. It's got the seat, this thing's loaded, good looking truck. Well, guess how much that truck is? $45,000. Somewhere in that range, a 2015 loaded Silverado is about $45,000. Well, that's a big price. That's a big price, and it equates to a large monthly payment. But you know what? There's a lot of people who are driving those vehicles today, and I'm going to give you 2 different scenarios.
This 2012 Chevrolet Equinox is clean and built with comfort and efficiency in mind. Want to save some money? Get the new look for the used price on this one-owner vehicle. Previous owner purchased it brand new. Auto Week notes the Equinox is being quiet and smooth on the road, boasts a good amount of passenger room, and very good fuel economy. This Equinox features a backup camera, sunroof, remote start, and for your phone you got a USB port to charge it and you got Bluetooth to connect to your radio. NADA Retail prices this over $1,000 more than the SVG price of $12,200. You're not going to believe me if I told you, but this is a 2012 Cadillac CTS Luxury for under $15,000. That's correct, a Cadillac for under $15,000. This Cadillac's only got 51,000 miles. It's all-wheel drive, AM, FM, XM stereo. Also has a CD player, memory seats. You can get in this with a remote keyless entry, and you have Bluetooth for your phone. For $14,800, you too can drive a Cadillac. One of the most popular vehicles on the road is this 2015 Chevrolet Cruze LT. This is almost new at 17,239 miles, extremely low miles for a 2015. It comes with remote start, backup camera, CD MP3 player, auxiliary USB port for your phone charging, and it comes with a clean Carfax. For $12,500, you can also drive one of the most fuel-efficient vehicles with almost 40 miles to the gallon on the highway. Check this Chevrolet Cruze out at svgchevy.com.
Let's do it. Over here, this is the lease. And he has a $45,000 Silverado. And over here's the buy. And he's got a $45,000 Silverado. Okay? So, which is the right way to do this? Well, what would a monthly payment be on a $45,000 vehicle? Now, rule of thumb oftentimes is $16 to $20 per thousand, depending on the term and how long you finance. But so on a monthly payment of, what would a monthly payment be to purchase that vehicle at $20 a thousand? You're looking at somewhere between $700 and $900 a month to buy that Silverado. Big payment, but people are doing it every day. To lease that vehicle, I'm going to tell you that you could lease that vehicle for $400 to $550 a month. Depending on miles and term that you do on the lease, these are variables. This is what you're looking at to lease the vehicle and to buy the vehicle. All right, I'm going to simplify this a little bit and just break it down to its simplest term. Let's say that this individual over here is leasing the vehicle and it's $500 a month with no money down. And then this individual over here is paying $750 a month to buy that exact same Silverado. Let's see who's in a better position. Okay, this guy drives this vehicle and he pays $750 a month for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years. And depending on how he goes out, maybe even 6 years of monthly payments at $750 a month. And then this guy over here is paying 1, 2, 3 years, and he's paying $500 a month. Okay, so what's the scenario look like? Well, first of all, what does this guy what does he owe at the end of the lease? That's right, nothing. Assuming that you bring the vehicle back with the base mileage, they allow you 15,000 miles per year. That's the standard lease, 15,000 miles a year. For many people, that's more miles than they need, okay? So for 15,000 miles a year at the end of this lease, if you bring the vehicle back with 45,000 miles and in moderate condition where the vehicle hasn't been beaten up, you owe nothing on the vehicle. Over here, after 3 years, $750 a month after 3 years, you still have 3 more years of $750 per month. How much is that? Well, so $27,000. And here's the situation. This person has paid how much extra? He's paid an additional $250 per month. For what? For the right to say that I own that truck. Well, good for you. You also own $250 more than this guy did, okay? This guy saved $9,000. This person saved $9,000 over the course of 3 years. This guy brings the truck back with 45,000 miles. This guy brings the truck back with 45,000 miles. But yet the argument is, you know what? I've got nothing to show for it. I think you do. I think we've proven you've got plenty to show for it.
Do you want to stretch your purchasing power? Well, take a look at this great looking 2014 Buick Regal. With just one previous owner who treated this vehicle like a member of the family, you'll really hit the jackpot when you drive home with this terrific car. This thing has features like navigation, sunroof, leather heated seats, clean Carfax, and Bluetooth for your phone. Save over $2,000 because NADA Retail says that we should sell this for $23,175, but here at SVG you can have it for $21,000 even. Your quest for a gently used SUV is over. This terrific looking 2014 Jeep Cherokee has only had one previous owner with a great track record and a long life ahead of it. This Cherokee has features like navigation, backup camera, leather heated seats, auxiliary input, and Bluetooth for your phone. At SVG's price of $19,300, which is $1,825 less than NADA retail, you cannot go wrong with this Jeep Cherokee. If you're looking for a 7-passenger vehicle, this 2014 Chevrolet Traverse LTZ will stop your search. This has extremely low miles at 39,188. The LTZ means this is the top of the line. It comes with leather heated seats, backup camera, Bluetooth for your phone, and a whole array of other features. You can take almost $2,000 off the NADA retail price of $27,675, which means you walk away with the superior value guarantee of $25,700.
You know, you've heard of Carfax. Suppose you were in a bad car accident with this vehicle, and one that you were okay, but the vehicle suffered tremendous damage, but not enough damage to total the vehicle out. And you took it to your body shop and they got it repaired and they fixed this vehicle back to new. Well, guess what? That accident report stays with the vehicle. If you own this vehicle and that Carfax is still on that vehicle, when you go to sell it or go to trade it in, they're gonna see that. The dealer's gonna see it when you go to trade it in, or you may disclose that when you go to sell it. What do you think that's gonna do to the value? It's gonna hurt the value, because when you go to sell it, they're gonna wanna know that. Over here, at the end of the lease, it doesn't matter. As long as you got the vehicle fixed and repaired back to factory settings, the vehicle goes back and there's no damage to you. So let's talk a little bit more about what do you have at the end of this lease. There's 3 terms that I want to share with you that for a lot of people, these are lease terms, lease vocabulary that can be very difficult because people don't understand. They've never heard these terms. Number 1 term that you hear a lot of in leasing is residual. Number 2 term is acquisition fee. And another term that you hear a lot is money factor. And these are terms that are unique to leasing, okay? Residual. Now I'm gonna tell you in Steve's layman terms what these mean, okay? In my opinion, they shouldn't call it residual, they should call it trade-in. Because that's pretty much what it is. The residual is what the vehicle trade-in value will be at the end of the lease. Acquisition fee is nothing more than a loan fee. Or better said, a lease fee. Why they have to use that long term, I don't know. And then money factor is the cost of using the money, or an interest rate. Slightly different because it's figured a little differently, but very similar. And the great thing about leasing is the reason why the lease payments are always so much lower, almost always so much lower, is because the money factor is near zero. The manufacturers, whether it's Chevrolet or Ford or Nissan or whomever, they want you to lease their vehicles because they know that if you get into the lease cycle, you typically will release with that same manufacturer. Don't have to, but that's what they hope for.
Hi, I'm Corey Morris, and today on Tech Tips, we're going to talk about something very, very vital for your vehicle. That's tire pressure. Tire pressure is a big, big part of your vehicle's maintenance. Also, it can be entirely done by you. Now, there are some spots on your vehicle that'll tell you exactly what kind of tire pressure you need in your tires. You will see on the tire of what that tire can hold maximum wise. Now, it's not recommended that you do that, but if you need a more accurate readout of what your tire has to have in it, go to your door jamb, check out the tire pressure. You should see it there. It'll say tire PSI on there. Now, that is the recommended PSI for your tire because of the weight of the vehicle and the size of the tire. Now, also, low tire pressure means damage to the tire. You can damage it externally and internally beyond repair. Now, if it's low tire pressure, that can get costly. Say when you go to the gas station, you have low tire pressure. Well, your vehicle's actually exerting more force to push the vehicle. Now, if you have a flat tire, have you ever tried to push a vehicle with a flat tire? Yes, it's a little bit harder. Now, if you ever had the recommended PSI in your tires, well, it's a little bit easier to push, right? Of course. Think of it like this. Accurate tire pressure equates to more money in your pocket. If you put the recommended amount of PSI in your tires, that saves you money. Of course, gas money also. If you have too low of tire pressure, that could damage your rim, that could damage the tire, of course, and that could damage other components of your vehicle too. Now, to get the most accurate reading would be either a digital gauge or a dial gauge. These pencil gauges here, yes, they are cheaper, but you get what you pay for. These are actually known to be up to 10 to 15 PSI off. Now, temperature increases and decreases are going to happen, of course. Now, your tire pressure is going to fluctuate. 7 to 10 degrees drop in temperature will actually take your vehicle's tire pressure down 1 PSI for each 7 to 10 degrees. So all in all, low tire pressure means that you could damage your vehicle, you could damage the components. Also, low pressure, that means more gas money coming out of your pocket. Now, the temperatures are going to fluctuate the tire PSI. At least check it once a month, at the very least. Always remember, put the recommended amount of PSI in your tires. You can find that in the door jambs. It will tell you exactly for this specific weight of the vehicle and that specific tire. So make sure you can also check your owner's manual, but the most accurate, check inside the door jamb. That'll be all right there. For the most accurate reading, get yourself a digital or a dial gauge. Those will give you the most accurate readings. These pencil gauges, these are common. Well, you get what you pay for with the pencil gauges. This is Corey Morris. That's it for Tech Tips.
How do they come up with this $500 a month? Where do they come up with that $500? Well, first of all, you can negotiate on a lease just like you negotiate on a buy. You can go into the dealership, make a deal on that lease, but here's what's set in stone: the residual or the trade-in value. Typically, on a 3-year lease, you see about 50%, okay? So the residual is 50% of MSRP, and that percentage is the same whether you buy the truck in Greenville, Ohio, or you buy it in Austin, Texas, or in Honolulu, Hawaii, because it's set by the manufacturer. Chevrolet says, all right, a 2015 double cab Chevy Silverado the residual is 50%. Well, guess what? The residual on these Silverado trucks is much higher than that. It's closer to 60%. But for the sake of simplicity, I want to explain how this leasing works. So when they say, okay, Silverado double cab truck, 50% of the MSRP. So the trade-in value, or the residual as they like to call it, is $22,500. That is your trade-in value at the end of the lease. So you drive this vehicle, and what you're doing is you're paying the difference between your discounted price down to that residual, the trade-in value. And now we're talking about a lot less money, aren't we? And that's how you're seeing these low payments at $500 a month. Now here's where it gets a little bit fun, okay? The average lease is 15,000 miles per year. But the manufacturers, they say, okay, guess what? We can lower that monthly payment if you don't drive as many miles. If you drive 12,000 miles a year, they may say, okay, the residual isn't 50%, it's 53%. And what does that do to the trade-in value? It raises it. So now it's 25,000. And what does that do to the monthly payment? Because now you're financing a smaller number because the trade-in's higher and where your selling price is a little bit higher. So the difference is smaller, and that's how you get a lower payment.
If you're looking for a good deal on a Jeep, check out this 2017 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk with only 12,074 miles. This thing features push-button start, remote start, leather heated seats, backup camera, and Bluetooth for your phone. Only at SVG you can get this incredible deal. NADA Retail says this should sell for $26,825, but here at SVG you can have it for $24,600. That's over $2,000 in savings. You can also drive away in this Blade Silver 2016 Chevrolet Colorado 4-wheel drive. Has a clean Carfax and only had one owner. This 4-door pickup is clean and capable to handle anything you want to throw at it. 6-speed automatic 3.6 liter V6. Comes with features like remote start, a backup camera, and a durable bed liner. The NADA retail price for this is $28,625. But here at SVG, you can save $1,625 and buy this thing for $27,000 even. In the market for a new truck? Check out this 2015 Ram 1500 Laramie. It's black, 4-wheel drive, only had one owner, and has a clean Carfax. This thing has features like navigation, push-button start, remote start, leather, power seats, heated seats, parking sensors, a backup camera, and Bluetooth to hook up your phone. NADA Retail wants us to sell this for $31,900, but here at SVG you get the superior value guarantee. So you can drive away in this vehicle for as little as $29,300. That's $2,600 less than NADA Retail.
Now here's the best part about leasing. At the end of 3 years, you have some options. More options than what you had if you bought it. Remember what I said about that Carfax? You had a bad accident and they got it fixed? Well, you may not want to keep that vehicle. So at the end of the lease, you walk into the Chevrolet dealership and you say, hey Steve, love the truck, it was a beautiful truck, it protected us in a bad accident, but you know what, we don't want it. Here's it back. You can turn it in. Number 2 option. You can say, I love the truck and I don't want to give it back. I'm going to buy it for that residual value. $22,500. I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Can you work me up some payments on that so that I can go ahead and buy this vehicle? You can buy the truck. Number 3. Number 3, you can say, love the truck, but you know what? There's a new body style out and it is kick. You know what? It is sweet. Good looking truck, better gas mileage. I want that truck now. Work me up another lease. I want one just like it, but I want the new cool one with all the cool features. This one drives itself. Who knows? You may want to release. Or last, and this is my favorite, and this is what very few people do, is you can sell the truck. You heard me right. So at the end of the lease, as you approach the end of the lease, you know that you've got 3-4 payments left, and you only have to pay them $22,500. But as you're flipping through the paper or you're looking online at what the value of 3-year-old trucks with, say, 40,000 miles, and you're seeing them all selling for $25,000, $26,000, and yet you're about to give this truck back to General Motors for $22,500? No. So what do? You put that truck in the newspaper or online, take about 40 pictures of it, and we can help you do that. And guess what? You put that thing online for $25,000, and you sell the truck, and you can pocket the difference. Yes, you can pocket the difference. So, in my humble opinion, depending on the vehicle, there are so many great leases out there. And when you see some crazy guy on television going, you could lease this for $199 a month, $299 a month, $350, whatever it is, listen up, because there are great deals coming out. And if you need a better explanation, see me. I can sit down with you one-on-one if you've got any more questions. I'm telling you, in my humble opinion, leasing is the way to go.
It's time to wake up. Are we ready? Things are gonna shake up. Can you feel it? Feel it on the inside. Nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. We can always reach a little higher. Find a way to light a little fire. Turn it up and never let it down. You know nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us now. We've never been this far before.
Thanks for watching another episode of SVG Motors Weekly. And if you haven't done it yet, go to youtube.com and subscribe to the SVG Motors channel. Or go to our Facebook page and like our page. And last but not least, if you want to see future episodes, go to your DVR and search SVG Motors and catch future episodes. Thanks again for watching.